Welcome back to the resumption of the live coverage here at karting Genk, the home of champions, for the first round of the 2021 Euro Trophy season. Let's have a look at the starting grid for race 9 of the meeting, Heat 5, the halfway point for Senior Rotax. Reese Hunter starts on pole position, Luca Lystra alongside him once again. Magic Hamera and Patrick Donica, they are on row 2. Aaron Walker and Sean Butcher on row number 3. Nick Cuppens and Sam Bergstein, row 4. Atul Horsch and Noah Hitt ran out the top 10. Vilgot Edqvist and Elia Galvanin, that's row 6. Luca Thiel and Vincent Bouteille ran out the top 7 rows ahead of Jens van der Heijden, Dylan Lahaye, Patrick Rundqvist, Victor Plateau, with Simon Gaspard and Flint Schuring rounding out the top 20 positions. Completing the grid, 28 drivers will be Hugo Bach, Marcel Lecuy, Yuri Tenhef, Elias Kalin, Giuseppe Fico, Luca Costa, Milan Ritter and Mario Sidler. So they go on to the formation lap, 10 minutes set on the timer. So the rain's intensity has slightly eased off, but with some dark clouds above us, up in the sky, looks like this rain and this set of weather conditions on the circuit. It was declared a wet race meeting this morning before morning warm-up by our race director. The drivers now get ready to resume their pathway towards the top 30 after intermediate classification. 70 drivers in Senior Rotax here this weekend. Top 30 will go through to the 2 finals automatically after intermediate classification has been confirmed and ratified, with the remaining drivers going into the second chance heat. So this is where things get interesting, because now it is Hunter and Lystra on the front row of the grid. So race 9 of the meeting, Heat 5 for Senior Rotax, Groups A versus D. Out of the final corner they come. Hunter on pole, Lystra alongside. Into the tram lines we go. And after the lunch break, we are racing. And a great start once again by Reese Hunter, as this time Magic Hamera trying to go up the inside of Luca Lystra, but someone from absolutely nowhere a little bit further back as, oh, now there's been a spin around. And we've had a multi-card incident going through off of turn number 2. And one of those cars, Magic Hamera, was hung out to dry. And also along with him was the 382 of Patrick Donica. So those two, they were on the second row of the grid, have now tumbled as it's 3 abreast going through turn 6 onto the Europlan for the first time in this race. So through into turn 7, it's nearly 3 abreast, some nearly banging wheels and side pods as there are comings together again, this time through turn 7. As now Hunter being put under pressure by Lystra, as we've got, looks to be Sean Butcher in 3rd position. And just behind him, that will be Nick Cuppens in the 389. And Cuppens looking to go up the inside. Butcher shuts the door going through turn 12 as the field now circumnavigates its way through turn number 11. But Hunter looks over his right shoulder to see where Lystra is. And he is at the moment 0.4 of a second adrift. Cuppens trying to go up the inside of Butcher. Butcher trying to get the cut back through into turn 2. And there's been another turnaround. And that looks to be, that is the 332 of Sweden's Vilgot Edqvist. So Edqvist, another one that is tumbling down the order. Some drivers going 2 by 2 going through as someone runs wide coming out of turn 4, runs onto the curbs on the right hand side and nearly touches the right rear wheel on the grass. As they all make their way through, Magic Hamera now keeping ahead of Patrick Donica. They're trying to make a resurgence, having started on the second row of the grid. But the battle at the front of the field continuing to intensify. Reese Hunter taking a different line in comparison with Luca Lystra. So 5th, 6th and 7th. And again, LaHaye is just not, he's not holding back. Far from it. And he's just got past. That's the 3:41 of Sam Bergstein. So LaHaye already, and we're not even 2.5 minutes into this race. Dylan LaHaye is again on an overtaking pièce de résistance in the 3 races that he's already competed in so far. And LaHaye now back up the inside again. And that time it was on Noah Hipp from France. Hipp responds, trying to get the cut back through turn 2, but LaHaye powers around the outside of him and neatly hits the apex through turn 3. And now his next victim looks to be Sean Butcher. Butcher goes wide going through turn 5, takes the title line going into turn 6, and again he runs wide as the same point at LaHaye, and they both put the power down at the same point. But LaHaye up the inside going through into turn 7. Now that's up into 4th place for the Belgian, and now Noah Hipp sticks his nose in, and Butcher keeps in front, and right behind Sam Bergstein and Arthur Horsch are also in the melee. And that means, well, Sean Butcher is now dropping down. Elias Carlin is out of this race as Sean Butcher now finds himself in uncharted waters. He has been fighting in the top 5 all the way through the day so far in his respective heats, as he's got to have a bit of a fight back, as there's a bit of a side-by-side moment. That was between Sam Bergstein and Arthur Horsch, as now the 370, that's Aaron Walker. Walker is dropping. Walker is dropping. I'm not too sure if the 370 from Great Britain has got an issue. So Walker has dropped down, and he's actually dropped out of the top 20. He's dropped all the way down. And Walker has dropped into 27th position, as Butcher now having to battle away. And that is with the 341 from the Netherlands, Sam Bergstein. And that is for 8th position on the road. LaHaye at the minute is absolutely flying, and he's now trying to get past Nick Cuppens in the 389 from Dams Racing, and he's getting close. Close enough to be within striking distance, heading through the exit of turn number 9, as a little bit further back. Likes of Arthur Horsch now in 5th position. Noah Hipp, Luca Thiel, Sam Bergstein. Sean Butcher in there. Victor Plateau is also just behind, and he rounds out the top 10 as well. Now, there was a banzai move there on Jens van der Heijden, courtesy of Patrick Rundqvist, and they've got Hugo Back right with them, as that's a 3-way scrap, and Noah Hipp getting Hugo Back getting very, very frustrated. We have got a yellow flag situation. Aaron Walker out of the race. I think it looked like the Strawberry Racing driver had a problem going through into turn 12, as now Nick Cuppens gets passed by Dylan LaHaye. And LaHaye, on average, so far, has taken, well, look at it this way. 15th in his first heat, took the victory, 14 positions. 16th in his second heat, that's 15 positions to take the victory. And then now, now we've got a problem for somebody else through turn 5, who's just had a bit of a moment, a bit of a nightmare, if you will. So just under 4.5 minutes remaining. Aaron Walker out, Elias Carlin out. The last of the drivers out on the circuit, Marcel Lecuy from France. Hugo Back now has got past Patrick Rundqvist for 12th position. And again, there are incidents and arguments here in senior Rotax. Some drivers trying to make their way through the field. And Elia Galvanin has got himself up into 15th position with a move on Vincent Bouteille from RN Concept. And Dylan LaHaye again has gone into the sub 1 minute 13s. Now, because of the fact that the rain is close to stopping, this is where these drivers now have to just keep an eye on what they are doing and just keep things clean. Sean Butcher trying to do his level best. He's got Hugo Back right up his back bumper. And then with them, you've probably got, well, there's an RS competition driver. That is Milan Ritter. Ritter's done a really good job. He started from 27th position on the grid. And the Dane now fighting within the top 15. As they head into turn 7, everyone taking different lines to nail the apex. As they head into turn 7. So it's not easy out there as these drivers are really, really pushing, but it's not easy. You've got to be one. So it's driver and machine, driver and kart as one, and know what you're doing with regards to these conditions. Now also, in the meantime, Dylan LaHaye has done another fastest lap. That's the fastest lap of the meeting so far, I think, in these current conditions. A 1 minute 12.610 from the Belgian. And he is chasing down Luca Leistra. The gap now down between second and third is 1.6 seconds. Victor Plateau now ahead of Sean Butcher. So Butcher rounding out the top 10. And he's battling away with Hugo Bach, Patrick Rundqvist and Milan Ritter. Elia Galvanin is also in that mix as someone goes very wide and gets a wheel bang going through into turn 5. And that was a little bit further down. That was possibly someone like maybe Bouteye having a little bit of a wheel banging session with Flint Schuring. But the leaders now looking rather closer than they have done so far. Dylan LaHaye has set a best lap of the race. Luca Leistra is also picking up the pace as well, a 1 minute 13.311 for the Belgian. But LaHaye was 1.6 seconds. So Nick Cuppens trying to be, well, it looks like Artur Horsch is trying to make amends for what happened in the earlier heat where he had a DNF. As they come across the line. As Artur Horsch sets the personal best, gets to within 0.8 of a second. Oh, Nick Cuppens, very different driving styles and also different lines taken. Nick Cuppens decides to carry the momentum through, run a little bit wide going through turn 2, whereas Artur Horsch took a tighter apex. So, 2 retirements still confirmed. Unfortunately, Aaron Walker on lap 3, Elias Carlin on the very first lap of the race. And Yuri Tenhef rounds out the running order so far. We're going into the last 45 seconds of this race, plus an additional lap. And after this, we will have another senior Rotax heat, which will be heat 6 out of 10. Giuseppe Fucco, Patrick Donica and Luca Costa making their way up the order. So Patrick Donica and Magic Hamera having dramas in the very first lap or 2 of this race. Hamera still down in, well, it was Elias Cullen was actually a non-starter, so Walker the first confirmed retirement. So now LaHaye was the second behind Leistra. Gap now has gone down to 0.3, and now that gap has been absolutely decimated. LaHaye once again still pushing. Oh my goodness, Leistra ran a little bit wide coming out of turn 4. LaHaye could have gone up the inside there if he had his opportunity, but now again through turn 6, hooks up the rear end, puts the throttle to the floor, catches with Leistra, not on this particular occasion, but LaHaye knows this circuit well, as does Leistra. Reese Hunter has also competed here before, but obviously he was the one with his target on the back of his race overalls coming into this this day, being our pole position setter. So now he's got to just see what happens with the 2 behind, but he's got to keep his blinkers on. So now LaHaye biding his time. Now he's gone to walk. Now he's even powered past Leistra before they've even hit the apex of turn 12. The 348 has got an absolutely blistering turn of speed. So final lap board has been shown. So LaHaye managed to get past Leistra through turn 12. And now Reese Hunter is coming under the clutches of the Belgian, but Hunter, now we've had a yellow flag penalty being issued, 5-second time penalty for the 322 of Hugo Bach, as now Reese Hunter just has 6 more corners to hold on. LaHaye looking to strike down the Europalan. LaHaye goes up the inside and they bang wheels. A little bit of rubbings racing, but karting is a non-contact sport. LaHaye has got the lead with what was it, 5 corners to go. And now Reese Hunter has Luca Leistra up close and personal. So LaHaye takes a look over his right shoulder quite casually there. And again, LaHaye has put himself in that prime position where he is now the one that is well and truly being talked about for multiple different reasons. as he runs a little bit wide, as does Lystra coming through turn 12. Hunter takes a tighter line, but Hunter, and there we go, LaHaye again secures a victory. Well, my silence just then said it all. I'm speechless how ridiculously quick Dylan LaHaye has come from 16th to take the victory provisionally. Reese Hunter started on pole, finished third. Lystra this time has a top 3 finish. Now there is a car on towards the inside of turn 6 that is now parked up. As we've got Artur Horsch, started 9th, finished in 4th. Nick Cuppen started 7th, finished 5th. So Noah Hipp in the 325 secures 6th place ahead of Luca Thiel, Sam Bergstein, Victor Plateau and Hugo Bach. That is the top 10 at the moment, but Hugo Bach being hit with a 5-second time penalty for overtaking under yellow flag conditions. So that will promote, hopefully promote Sean Butcher into the top 10. Milan Ritter finishes behind. Patrick Rundqvist in 13th. Flint Schuring in 14th. Elia Galvanin rented out the top 15 positions, having started in P12. Buteye, Lodderheiden, Fico, Simon Gaspard, Vilgot Edquist rounds out the top 20. Mario Sidler, Patrick Donica, Magic Chimera, Yuri Tenhef, Marcel Lecuy rounded out the 25 that finished, and that was Luca Köster, I believe, that has just ended up retiring on the final lap of the race off of turn 6. So the number 362 from Kraft Motorsport will have to come back and fight again. Aaron Walker, unfortunately, retiring on lap 3 with our final driver in that field. Unfortunately, not finishing the race, which was Elias Carlin, who was a non-starter.